Jai.
So I request all of you if you can put your mobile phone on silent phone so we can have uninterrupted hearing.
So anyway, it's a great pleasure and a great honor to again be here in Kanaya with all the wonderful devotees of Kanaya Yatra. This is our second time here. And so far it's been much more pleasant than last time. So, to begin, we'll sing a nice song glorifying the Vaishnava. Because without the mercy of the Vaishnavas, we cannot make any progress in Krishna consciousness. I translated one book of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Madhurya Kadambini. I guess you can't get these things even on Amazon, huh? Anyway, if you go out of the country, you can get it on Amazon. Madhurya Kadambini. There he describes that bhakti is only available from the bhakt. He said even Krishna himself, the Vaishnava, Srimad Bhagavatam describes that he's partial. That's his nature. He worships the Lord. He associates with the Vaishnavas. He tries to elevate the innocent. And he avoids the atheists. By his nature, he's partial. So if we want to get bhakti, we have to get it from the bhakt. Only he can give us bhakti. So we have beautiful song. You've already put all your devices on silent, I hope, but if you're getting signal here, you can look up Ebara Karuna Koro. Ebara Karuna Koro Vaishnava Gosai. No harmonium, huh? Patita Pavana Toma Bina Kehona. Kaharane kate gele Papa dure jai. Kemana dayala Prabhu keva kota pa. Gangara parasha hoile paschati pava. Darshane pavitra koro ito marago. Haristane aparade Hare Harina. Tomasane apa Radhe dahi paritra. sada Govinda Visra. Govinda Gahena Mora Vaishnava Para. Govinda Gahena Mora Vaishnava Para. Prati Janme Kori Asha Charanera Duli. Narotame Koro Daya Apanara Boli. Narotame Koro Daya Apanara Boli. Evara Karuna Koro Vaishnava Gosai. Patita Pavana Toma Vina Ke Hona. Jai Vaishnava Gosai, Jai Vaishnava Gosai, Jai Vaishnava Gosai, Jai Vaishnava Gosai. Jaya Vaishnava Gosai, Vaishnava Gosai, Vaishnava Gosai, Jaya Vaishnava Gosai. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Vaishnav Gosai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande. So this is a beautiful song by Narottam Das Thakur. And he says, Ebara Karuna Koro, Vaishnava Gosai. Actual word is Goswami, but out of affection in Old Bengali, we say Gosai. So, O Vaishnava Gosai, just please be merciful upon me. Be compassionate upon me. Karuna means compassion. Ebara Karuna Koro Vaishnava Gosai. Patita Pavana Toma Bina Kehonai. There's nobody like you who can purify the fallen souls. Patit is Sanskrit word. It's ourselves. Patit. Fallen. And Pavana means to purify. So he said, like the Vaishnava, there's nobody who can purify the fallen souls. And he gives one example. He says, Gangara Parasha Hoile Paschate Pavan. Parasha, this is Old Bengali, this actual word is sparsh. Sparsha. We know this word from Bhagavad Gita, right? What verse? Yes. Oh, you're studying. Okay, good. To touch or to contact. So this is poetic way of saying taking bath in Ganga. Gangana Parasha Hoile Paschate Pavan. After some time, you become purified. Just like just now we had Kumbh Mela in Prayag. And some people come in us for 1 month in the cold, their bath in the cold waters of Ganga and Yamuna. So slowly, 1 month, and they become purified. But Narottam says, Darshani pavitra karo ei tomara gun. That just by seeing a Vaishnav, one becomes purified. Ganga takes some time, but just by seeing a Vaishnav, immediately, one darshan matra se, one becomes purified. So one time I was at Kumbh Mela. I've been all 4 of the different places I've been. In Prayag I've been many times, Ardha Kumbh and Full Kumbh. This time we missed, but this time we had such a camp. We had 3 different kitchens distributing almost 1 lakh of plates of prasadam every day. And everybody else was calling, come take prasad, come take prasad. Everybody knows that ISKCON prasad is delicious. We didn't have to call anybody. 1 lakh of people came every day from our 3 different places. It was an amazing Kumbh Mela. But one time in Prayag Kumbh, I met one sadhu, and he asked me about this song. He said, why are we giving more emphasis on the Vaishnava than Ganga? This verse is actually, this Siddhanta is actually taken from first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There's one verse that says that the waters of the Ganga purify after some time, but Vaishnava can purify immediately. So I knew he must have some special answers. I said, I don't know. He said, Ganga, one time she touched the toe of the Lord, when Lord Bamadev, when he stretched all the way up to he took a second step, he knocked a hole in the universe. And the Karna jals leaked through. So one time that Ganga touched Lord's toe and ran away. He went all the way through the universe. Finally, Bhagirati brought him down here to the earth, or brought her down here to the earth. So one time she touched his foot and she went away. He said, but Vaishnav, he's again and again touching the feet of the Lord and always running toward the Lord. So we give more emphasis on Vaishnava than on Ganga. So anyway, so it's not exactly my favorite topic, but still some of them are my favorite. This one is my favorite, actually. We're talking about the demons. So there was one great king named Devamita. And Devamita, he had 2 wives. One was a Kshatriya, which is natural, and one was a Vaishya, which is also, we can marry up, but we can't marry, we can marry down, but we can't marry up. So he had, one wife was a Vaishya. So that from the Kshatriya wife, he got a son named Surasen, and his son was Vasudev. And from the Vaishya wife, he got one son named Parjanya Maharaj. And Jiva Goswami explains, because he was born from the Vaishya wife, he became the king of the cowherds, and he made his kingdom eventually in Gokul, on the other side of the river from Mathura. And he had 5 sons, 5 Nandas. Abhinanda, Sunanda, Nanda, Abhinanda, Upananda, Abhinanda, Nanda, Sunanda, and Nandan. Nanda Maharaj was middle one. So eventually Nanda Maharaj became the king. But by this way he had some relation with Vasudeva. So one time, all the cowherd men from Mathura, from Gokul, they had to go to Mathura to pay taxes. And Nanda Maharaj, he was very heavy-hearted. He didn't want to leave. He was always worried about his Nanda Lala. In fact, he started off, then he turned around and he came back. He went to take darshan of Nanda Lala. And Rohini was there and she said, Lala, he wants your permission to go to Mathura. And Lala smiled. That smile he entered deep into Nanda Maharaj's heart. And keeping that smile in his heart, then he knew that there was no danger. He would go to Mathura. So he kept that beautiful Lord within his heart. Because if we keep the smile of the Lord within our heart, then we have no problems. So he went to Mathura and they paid their taxes to they didn't approach Kamsa because they wanted to stay away from him, but through the officials they gave all their taxes and like that. And then Nanda Maharaj, he wanted to see Vasudeva, but he was afraid to go there directly. Then Kansa would know there's some relation between them. But somehow Vasudeva secretly sent one messenger and told him to meet in a secret place. So they met in a very secret place, and of course Vasudeva, he was asking about the welfare of Krishna and Balaram. And then he told Nanda Maharaj, you better hurry back because there may be some disturbances. You have to take very good care of Krishna and Balaram because there may be some disturbances there in Braj. So then he immediately set forth back to Gokul. Meanwhile, comes when he had tried to kill that child who apparently was the daughter of Devaki, although he had killed so many children before, when he tried to smash her on the stone, she rose up into the sky. Said, Kans, you fool! Huh? That child who will kill you has already been born somewhere else. So Kansa was very worried. He heard this oracle in the sky. That Antawalal Tera Kal. A child will be your death. So he had one Rakshasi named Putana. He sent her around to kill all the children born within the last 10 days. He was worried. It could be anyone. And finally he understood that that child may be there in Gokul. So he told Putana to go there. And if you go on the walking Brajbanda Prakama with Lokanath Swami's crew, then you'll visit a place called Kechari. Because Putana was such a witch called Kechari. Kechari means they can fly on the branch of a tree. And they like to suck the blood of little children. Putana Putar is my name. Eating little children is my game. So he sent her to Gokul. And she was very powerful. So she knew that this Krishna, he's also very powerful. So she decided she better not come directly. So by her mystic power, she made a very beautiful form. With beautiful shining earrings, beautiful choti with so many flowers, Huh? Beautiful flowing silken sari, beautiful colors. And she was so attractive. Bhagavatam says, especially to the men, she was very beautiful. But everyone was amazed. And the people began seeing her. She was walking through Braj and twirling a lotus flower. So seeing her, everyone began to speculate who she is. So somebody said, it must be Gauri, the wife of Lord Shiva, come to take darshan of Nandalala. No, she's carrying a lotus flower. She must be Lakshmiji herself. This way they began to speculate who she was. And nobody, she had such mystic power, nobody suspected anything. They thought this beautiful lady, she must be Lakshmiji who's come to take darshan of Nandalala. So she walked through the village, nobody stopped her. She came to the house of the palace of Nanda Maharaj, and without even knocking, she entered the palace. And she was so beautiful, even though Yasoda and Rohini were sitting there. Yasoda got doubt within her heart. She saw she's so beautiful. She said, is she the mother? Or am I the mother? Am I the mother? Is she the mother? She was so bewildered by the beauty. Putana was so powerful. And then she walked right to the crib where Krishna was lying. Now this is most amazing. This strange woman, without even knocking, walks into the house, walks over to the crib, and Mother Rohini and Mother Yasoda don't do a thing. This is amazing, because Mother Yasoda, she's so protective of her little Lala, that even if her best friends come, so no, he just woke up, I have to give him bath, you come later. I just gave him bath, I have to give him milk. You come after some time. I just give him milk, he has to go take rest, you come after. Even her best friends can't take darshan so easily. Now a strange woman, without even knocking, walks into the palace, walks straight to the crib where Krishna is lying, and Mother Rohini and Mother Yasoda don't do a thing. So our acharyas have explained it can only mean that Krishna has expanded his yogamaya potency. Otherwise it's not. She's so protective, otherwise it's not possible. Because this is Krishna's desire to finish off this demoness. So she went straight to the crib and she looked down and she saw this little child there. So innocent. And Prabhupada in the Perfect explains if somebody mistakes a rope for a snake, then he dies. Krishna, Bhagavatam says he was just like fire covered with ashes. It will still burn, even though you can't see it because of the ashes. And Putana, she closed her eyes. Now every acharya has written something about why she closed her eyes. If we get into that, we'll be here all night. Probably she closed her eyes. Krishna closed his eyes because he was thinking, the first demon that I'm going to kill is a woman. What are all the feminists going to think? Actually, she was the only woman that Krishna killed. After Krishna learned his lesson. All the rest of the demons were men. So anyway, she closed her eyes. And she had smeared this heavy poison on her breast. And she picked up the child and she pushed the nipple into her nipple into his mouth. Now this Leela is very interesting because everybody gets to take part in this Leela. Because when there's poison, who do we call? When there's poison, who do we call? Who the poison buster? Huh? Lord Shiva, yes. So Lord Shiva, he's also within Krishna. So Lord Shiva, he took all the poison. And Prabhupada actually explains in one purport that Krishna doesn't actually kill the demons. That's the Mahavishnu who does this job. Krishna, he's only enjoying loving pastimes with his devotees. So Krishna, he sucked out all the milk. He's just enjoying. He took all the milk. Then Mahavishnu, he's also within Krishna. Like Prabhupada says, if you have $1 million, then your $10, your $100, your $1,000, your $100,000 problem, they're all finished. So Mahavishnu is also there. He does the killing. So he grabbed that nipple and he sucked out the very life of Putana. And she began to scream, "Oh, child, leave me, leave me, leave me." And she ran to the door of the palace. And it appeared that she flew through the sky. But actually our acharyas have explained that Krishna understood that when she regains her original form and dies, she's going to expand herself, so smash Gokul to pieces. So Krishna actually threw her way out into the fields. Sometime if you're coming from Brahmandagat, you go to Gokul and you go to Brahmandagat, and you come towards Gokul, you'll see all the land is going down like this. And there's one place where it meets like this. And then you can see somewhere the land is up, somewhere it's down, somewhere it's up, somewhere it's down. The one leg fell over here, so that's down. Between the legs it's up. Another leg fit here is down, and then over here it's up. He threw her way out into the fields. And she turned into this horrible, ghastly form with big, long, curved teeth like plows, and great big eyes. And her two breasts were like mountain peaks, and her flat belly was like the summit of the mountain. And her two legs were like the banks of a river. Her hair was scattered in all directions, coppery colored hair scattered in all directions. And Yasoda and Rohini, they fainted. And everyone ran to the fields. And they saw Krishna was sitting there on top of the breast of Putana. And Krishna was smiling. You see what I did? Everybody else was, So all the Kahur ladies, somehow they made a chain, one all the way up to the breast of Putana, and they handed that child one to the next, one to the next, one to the next. And they came to Rohini and Yasoda. And they tried to revive them in so many ways. They were calling out to them, making noises, shaking them. Finally, they put the child into the laps of Mother Yasoda and Rohini, and they both regained their consciousness. And Mother Yasoda was thinking, oh, by some pious act, even in my very old age, because Mother Yasoda didn't get her child in it when she was young. Just like we read the description of Nanda Baba, he's got salt and pepper beard. Now my pepper's gone away. And even Mother Yasoda's got some gray hairs coming. Somehow in my old age, by some pious act, I got this wonderful child. And by some offense, I almost lost him. Now by the grace of the Almighty Lord, he's been saved. Because this is Braja Bhakti. They don't know, they don't even care if whether Krishna is God or not, Prabhupada says. Huh? They just love him. Ordinarily, because we realize the greatness of the Lord, then we talk about the fear of the Lord, and we're this Aishvarya Bhav. But in Braj, nobody knows that Krishna is God. They just love him. He's so sweet. He's so wonderful. He's so beautiful. Like Nanda Maharaj, he saw that beautiful smile. He kept it in his heart. So Mother Yasoda, she was thinking, oh, this child. I forgot my... Anyway. It was a beautiful prayer that the gopis sang. Anyway, first of all, she began to bathe Krishna with cow urine and cow dung. These things are so auspicious. We think of cow urine, cow dung. Ooh! Just like across the river from Vrindavan, a little ways across the field, if you look, you can see a whole bunch of tall trees. That's Belvan. And there Lakshmi ji is meditating. If you go there, there's beautiful Lakshmi Bandir is there. And Lakshmi is meditating to be able to enter Vrindavan and enter the Ras Leela. But she can't. Because if you want to enter the Ras Leela, you have to become a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braj. And Lakshmi ji, she has this abhiman that I'm the wife of Vaikuntapati Lord Narayan. And these cowherd women, they're milking cows, they're making cow dung patties and things like this. How is she going to do like that? So she's still sitting there. You can go and see. She's still sitting there. Unless we become followers of the Brajavasis, we cannot enter Vrindavan. We're so fortunate, we have the most dear Brajavasi. Srila Prabhupada, he made Vrindavan famous all over the world. Nobody knew, even in India. When I would say, coming from Vrindavan, they say, oh, Vrindavan Gardens in Karnataka, in Mysore. I said, no, Vrindavan in Mathura. Oh, Madurai. No, Mathura. Even in India they didn't know what is Mathura, what is Vrindavan. But he made Vrindavan famous all over the world. When I joined Vrindavan Temple in 1984, if we saw 2 cars in one day, that was traffic. And if we saw one, it was either an ambassador or a Padmini. There was no other cars. Now, at Mangalarti, you can hardly find place to stand in Krishna Balaram Mandir. Prabhupada put Vrindavan on the map. Somehow or other, it's become the fashion now that if you're in Vrindavan overnight, then at 4:30 in the morning you have to come to the ISKCON and see the Mangalarti. And it's so many thousands of people come, it's amazing. The Prabhupada is so dear to Krishna, the most dear Brajavasi. And we're following him, so we're very fortunate. So anyway, Mother Yasoda, she bathed Krishna with cow dung and cow urine. These things are so special. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead was bathed with these things. And then she took a little switch made from the hairs from the tail of the cow, and she began to sprinkle dust that was raised by the hooves of the cows when they're walking all around Krishna. And then she began to chant 12 names. I put it in my cell phone, and I forgot to bring my cell phone. There's a beautiful prayer is there in 10th canto, 6th chapter. Because wherever Bhagavatam explains, wherever these 12 names, wherever the names of Vishnu are chanted, then no demon, no pisashti, no Kachari, no type of evil spirit, nobody can stay. Just like one time, I went to the Janmashtami in Bhaktivedanta Banner. This is probably outside of India, the biggest Janmashtami in the world. That time, that was many years ago. That was more than 35 years ago, I think. And they estimated something like 70,000 people came. So I don't know what it's like nowadays. That was years ago. The next day, of course, is Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada. So my dear godbrother, Dhananjay, he was the first temple, after Krishna Balaram were installed, and it actually became a temple. Before it was just a construction site. But the first temple president after it actually became a temple was Dhananjay Prabhu, along with his wife Balagopal. So he told us, because he's very, very old devotee, that one time Prabhupada and the devotees, they were staying in John Nellin's Tittenhurst estate, because the temple in Buri Place was under construction. So he had offered that they could stay there with him. And Shyam Sundar, he was a carpenter, one of his talents. So in return, he was doing some carpentry work on John Lennon's estate. But every day, the guy who was in charge, watching over the work, he would come late. And they asked him one day why he's late. He said, "There's so many noises at night, I can't get any sleep." And his wife said, "Yeah, there's ghosts." He said, "Oh, honey, it's rats running up and down." I said, No, it's ghosts." So anyway, one day they told Prabhupada that the manager, he comes late because he can't get any sleep because ghosts are bothering all night long. So Prabhupada told the devotees that you go there and you do kirtan and you dance in a circle, but going counterclockwise. And you chant very enthusiastically the holy name. Whatever ghosts are there, they'll be driven away. So anyway, the manager, he wasn't very enthusiastic about this idea, but he got overruled by the home ministry. So the devotees came there, and they did kirtan, and they danced around in a circle, going counterclockwise. And then they couldn't eat anything, but they just took some fruits. And the next day, the manager came bright and early in the morning. He said, "You chased all the rats away." "So dear, it was those ghosts. He got rid of the ghosts." So wherever the names of the Lord are chanted, then none of these evil spirits can stay. So Mother Yasoda, she chanted this beautiful mantra. I wish I had brought my phone with me. We could hear.
I can bring out.
You have?
You have your glasses?
No, I don't have my glasses. Okay. Avarajungri manimams tava janu atoru yagyo chuta kali brittatam jataram has hayasaya ritkeshavastvad ura isha inastu kantam vishnur mukham Urukam Ishwarakam. I don't have the right meter, but anyway. Chakyagrata Sahagado Hatir Astu Paschat Tvat Paru Bhajanascha Koneshu Sanka Urugaya Uparyupendras Tarksha Shitam Baladhara Purusha Samad Purusha Samattuat. Indriya Rishi Kesha Pranam Narayano Vatu Sweta Dvipa Patis Chittam Mano Yogeshwaro Vatu Prishnigarbhastu in Tute Buddhim Atmanam Bhagavan Para Kridantam Patu Govinda Shayanam Patu Madhava Prajantam Mayad Vaikunta Asinam Tvam Sriyapati Munjan Yagya Bhukpatu Sarvagraha Bhayankara Dakshino Yatu Danyascha Kusmanda Ye Barkagraha Bhuta Preta Pisascha Yaksha Raksho Vinayaka Kotareva Tijesta Putana Matri Dayaha Unmada Yeya Pasmara Deha Pranendriya Dhruva. So what did they sing? May Aja protect your legs. May Maniman protect your knees. Yajur your thighs, Achuta the upper part of your waist, and Hayagriva your abdomen. May Keshava protect your heart, Isha your chest, the sun god your neck, Vishnu your arms, Urukram your face, and Ishvara your head. May Chakri protect you from the front. May Sri Hari, Gadadhari, the carrier of the club, protect you from the back. And may the carrier of the bow, who is known as the enemy of Madhu, and Lord Ajana, the carrier of the sword, protect your two sides. May Lord Urugai, the carrier of the conch shell, protect you from all corners. May Upendra protect you from above. May Garuda protect you on the ground. And may Lord Haladar, the supreme person, protect you on all sides. May Rishikesh protect your senses, and Narayan your life air. May the master of Swetadeep protect the core of your heart, and may Lord Yogeshwar protect your mind. May Lord Prishni Garbha protect your intelligence, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead your soul. While you were playing, may Govinda protect you, and while you were sleeping, may Madhava protect you. May Lord Vaikuntha protect you while you are walking, and may Lord Narayan, the husband of Goddess of Fortune, protect you while you are sitting. Similarly, may Lord Yagyabuk, the fearful enemy of all planets, always protect you while you enjoy your life. This is the mantra of 12 names of Vishnu that Mother Yasoda was chanting. So then, she took Lala on her lap, and she pushed her breast into his mouth, and he began to drink very peacefully. So this was a sign that if the child drinks milk peacefully like this, then he's out of any danger. So all the Brishbasis were very happy. And then meanwhile, Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men, they returned from the field, from Mathura, and they saw in the distance this huge form like a mountain fallen in that one of the mountains that maybe Lord Indra had cut off his wings and he fell into the forest. It was a huge, something was there. And they all began to speculate what it is, what is this thing? As they came, they saw this huge, ugly form. They didn't know what to do. So Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherd men, they hacked it into pieces and throwing all those pieces in a very distant place, Dur. They covered all these pieces of the body of Putana with wood and began to burn. An amazing thing was, just like if you've ever somehow burned your hair, you know that smell. So, but instead of that type of a smell, there was very pleasant smell. And Bhagavatam says, a guru. Even I don't know what a guru is. I've heard of it, but really not sure what it is, what it's like. But a guru's scent was flowing through the entire universe. Even the demigods were amazed. What is this smell? Huh? And Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami explains that because Putana, even though she was so sinful and came to kill Krishna, because she touched the Lord, she became purified. When she became pure, then when they burned her, she was smelling very like a guru. And then Nanda Maharaj, he entered the village and immediately ran to see if Krishna and Balaram were okay. And as soon as he saw Krishna and Balaram, his joy knew no bounds. And he picked up Krishna and held him in his arms and began to smell his head and caress his body. And he heard the whole story of how this huge demoness had come, and by the grace of the Lord, somehow that demoness was killed. And everyone was so happy and everybody was celebrating. And Sukadeva Goswami says, this is so amazing that Putana, and he explains that Putana, she actually got liberated. She got a place, says, like a mother. And Jiva Goswami, in his commentary, he describes like a mother means nurse. And he says that she got liberation all the way to Golok. And she got the form of a nurse. He said, but because of her offense, she never has any direct service to Krishna. She got all the way to the Golok, but she has no direct service. She's like a nurse. And Sukadeva Goswami is so amazed that Putana, she came to kill Krishna, but because she offered a little milk, she got liberated all the way to Golok. He said, what about those people who were worshiping Krishna with love? What about those people who were chanting with love the names of the Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What will be the destination of them? He's so amazed, he can't believe this thing. And it's described that Putana in her previous life, she was Ratnabala. Now Brahmavaivarta Puran says she was the younger sister of Bali Maharaj. And Garga Samhita says she was the daughter. Anyhow, when she saw that young Brahman come when Bali Maharaj was doing his big yagya, and Vaman Dev came, and she saw this boy and she thought, oh, this boy is so beautiful. I would just love to have a son like this boy. And then when she saw her father or her brother arrested by the ropes of Varuna, then she said, yes, and if I got a son like this, I would poison him. So Krishna noted both things down in on his mobile phone. If I got a son like that, I would just love to suckle him. So he noted it down. And Bhaktivinoda, he has a whole book that he's written about the different demons in Krishna Leela. So she represents the bogus guru or the materialistic guru. He looks like the real thing, but he only gives instruction for sense gratification. Because the real guru has to give us the real instruction that we have to give up sense gratification and execute. Prabhupada, one of the first ones to describe bhakti means service. We have to do service to Krishna. People think it's just an emotion, but you have to do service to Krishna. This is the highest thing. So she represents this materialistic, bogus guru. So we want to get protected from that thing. Actually, I remember one time I went down to LA because you heard I was president of Portland, Oregon, northwestern corner of US. So Prabhupada came to LA, so I came down. And that day, there was one young boy who'd come to LA because he was actually living in Arizona someplace. But going through LA airport, he got a book from a devotee. Then he began writing, and then eventually the devotees sent him some japa beads, they sent him Bhagavad Gita, they told him how to offer his food, everything. Then they wrote to him and said, Prabhupada's coming, so you should come. So they invited him on the morning walk, and I also happened to be in that morning walk. And he was walking down at Venice Beach, just down the street from the temple. A few miles, there's a beautiful beach called Venice Beach, and Prabhupada used to go there for his morning walk. So Prabhupada was walking along, and this young boy, he got up enough courage to ask Prabhupada a question. He said, Srila Prabhupada, I heard, I read in your books that wherever a pure devotee stays, all material enjoyment goes away. And Prabhupada stopped, he dug his cane into the sand, he turned around to look who was talking. He said, we do not say to not enjoy. You were not in the kirtan this morning? Oh yes, Prabhupada. That was not enjoyable? Oh yes, Prabhupada. You were not in the class discussing the philosophy and pastimes of the Lord? Oh yes, Prabhupada. That was not enjoyable? Oh yes, Prabhupada. That was enjoyable. Yes, that is enjoyment like a human being. This drink and dance all night in the disco club, that is enjoyment? Oh no, Prabhupada. No, that is enjoyment like a cat and dog. So we do not say, do not enjoy. We say, you enjoy like a human being. We don't say you don't eat nice things. Yes, you eat nice things, but first you nice rasgulla, sandesh, and gulab jamuns. Prabhupada used to call gulab jamun ISKCON bullets. Even I was made devotee by ISKCON bullet. He said, yes, you should enjoy like a human being. Chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam, hear the philosophy of Krishna, do some service for Krishna. These are all very enjoyable things. So we don't say don't enjoy, but you give up this enjoying like a cat and dog and you enjoy like a human being. Hare Krishna. So we'll leave some time for if anybody has any questions or comments. Everybody fell asleep.
Any question from?
Hare Krishna, while we were hearing this pastime, so we felt very blessed because just by seeing you, we see this transcendental smile on your face always. So that reflects your inner happiness. So how can we be happy like you?
I just gave the secret. You chant Hare Krishna, you hear about Krishna, you take Krishna prasadam, you raise nice children to be devotees. It may take some time because Prabhupada said it's a gradual process. Just like if we put a seed in the ground, we put some water, we put some fertilizer, tomorrow morning we can't come and say, hey, where's my eggplant? I planted the seed, I put water, I put fertilizer, where's my eggplant? No, you keep on putting the water, keep on putting the fertilizer, taking out the weeds, then slowly, little ankur, little sprout will come. 2 leaves, then 4 leaves, then 8 leaves, then so many leaves, a little plant comes. And the plant gets a little tall, and the little beautiful flower comes down like this, and that flower falls off, a little bead is there, and it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and one day there's an eggplant there. So after millions of lifetimes of sense gratification, we can't expect that one day to the next day we're going to become Krishna conscious. But you keep on watering by hearing and chanting, and putting the fertilizer, associating with the Vaishnavas, and pulling the weeds, avoiding all the offenses, and then slowly, slowly, one day you'll become fully Krishna conscious.
I can add something to it. So I'm with Prabhuji for last 11 years. Few good qualities I've observed, which I still am trying to imbibe in me. So one is that I've seen that he is completely non-envious. He doesn't envy anybody, even to somebody who is not so favorable to him. He still wants to help them. Generally, I have seen it, and today is the first time I'm telling in front of him. And I've never seen him criticizing anybody. Anything negative talks going on anywhere, he just distances himself. Doesn't take part into anything like that. So some of these wonderful qualities I have seen, so far I couldn't get it, but I just begin to understand that, I'm with him and these are the qualities that he has in him that made him blissful.
Just like a few days ago, we were discussing Jayananda because it was day before Nishinga Chaturdasi, is Jayananda's disappearance day. So most of you never had the association with Jayananda, but he was like that. And he was always engaged in service, and it didn't matter. I remember one devotee from LA, he kept hearing about there's this pure devotee in the San Francisco temple, So he's always thinking he's going to go one day for Rath Yatra, and they go up to San Francisco, because those times only Rath Yatra was in San Francisco. And meet this devotee. So he was expecting, he has nice, beautiful, completely pressed kurta, and pressed, nice, fresh dhoti, and nice sika, and his, hand in his bead bag, and his head in the clouds somewhere. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And he came to San Francisco temple, and in the morning he walked outside, and somebody was underneath the car, because they have these piece of plywood, and you put some roller skates on it, and you can roll under the car and do work. So somebody was under the car lying on one of these things. And he said, Prabhu, can you hand me that screwdriver? And so he handed it under the car. He said, thanks, and he started preaching to, his name was Jai Rishi, so he started preaching to him. Then he rolled up from underneath the car, completely covered with grease, black grease. His clothes was all black with grease and holes and everything. And he rolled up from underneath the car, and he said, Haribol, Prabhu, you're from LA? He said, yes. What's your name? He said, Jai Rishi. And what's your name, Prabhu? Jayananda. He was shocked this was Jayananda. He wasn't afraid to do any even nasty job, because he was a taxi cab driver, although he had a degree in mechanical engineering, which was a big deal in those days. Now you have to be IT, have some degree in IT, but those days, that was before the internet or mobile phones or anything, So mechanical engineer, he could have got a good job, but he said, I didn't fit in with those people, they just want to make money and enjoy life, and I just couldn't get into it. So he became a taxi cab driver. Nobody bothers you. So because he knew how to take care of Krishna's car, so that was one of his services. One time somebody came to the temple, new boy, and they said, hey, why don't you go back to the temple and help Jayananda? Sitting around, he found Jayananda taking out the trash of the temple. And Jayananda began preaching to him and talking to him and telling him. And he was helping Jayananda take out all the trash and garbage and everything. And then he realized this guy's just a garbage man to the temple. He's so blissful. He became a devotee. And talking about prasad, Jayananda loved prasad. Anybody who worked on the Rath Yatra cart, he always made sure they got lots of halava. And one story, this is my favorite story. This tells it really the character of Jayananda. One time, because on one side of in San Francisco, there's a big bay that comes in like this. So San Francisco, one side of the bay, other side of the bay is Berkeley and Oakland. So somehow there was a big penitentiary, some type of a jail there, big jail in Oakland, and they arranged a program for the prisoners. So they called up Danavir, who was president of Berkeley Temple. Danavir, we called him Mr. Enthusiasm, but he's a little bit naive, those days. So they called him up and said, hey, Danavir, we got this program on your side of the bay in Oakland. We want you to make lots and lots of halava with lots of butter, because in the old days we used to make halava with butter, and butter halava's got different tastes than ghee halava. And put lots of strawberries in it, and make simply wonderfuls with lots of ghee, butter, and strawberries, and we'll come pick you guys up and go to the program. So then they had this van in a little truck. There was no window between the cab and the backside of the truck. So all the devotees climbed in, and it was such an old truck, it didn't even have a gas pedal. So Jayananda had a string tied around his toe to the stick, where the gas pedal was supposed to be. And that's how he was driving like that, and using the other for the clutch and the brake. And they're driving down. They drove over to Berkeley, and they loaded up all the Berkeley devotees and the halava and simply wonderfuls. And they're driving along. And Jayananda says, Keshava was a temple president. He's no longer in this world, but Keshava was a temple president. And Jayananda says, Keshava, I bet the devotees would be really enthusiastic to distribute this prasadam if they had a taste. Hey, Jayananda, that's a great idea. So the window wasn't there, so he just said, hey, back there, make some plates for everyone and pass two of them up here. Jayananda's, driving this truck, and somehow eating halava, simply wonderful. And they're going along, and he says, hey, Keshava, that was really wonderful. Donovan really made nice halava and nice simplies. Maybe we better try some more. Hey, Jayananda, that's a good idea. Pass out some more and pass two plates up here. And after a while, Danavir looked, and in the pot of halava, there's just a few little grains sticking on the side of the pot. If simply wonderful, you had to roll them in the milk dust, and so just milk dust was there, nothing. And he said, Danavir said, oh no, what have we done? We're so fallen. That prasadam that was meant for the fallen conditioned souls, we've eaten it all. Then they drove up to the prison, and the guy at the gate, the guard at the gate, he comes out, he pokes his head inside the van. He said, you don't have any food in here, do you? Because it's illegal to bring any food inside the prison. Oh no, sir, we don't have any food. That was all Jayananda and Keshava's plan. Anyway, that was Jayananda.
Can you mention how it worked, Japataka?
Then, and Jayananda, just like that's where we got the quality, because he would never listen to criticism. He never criticized anyone, and he always encouraged. Now we've invented the internet and we just blast each other off the face of the earth. But anyway, he was encouraging. One time he was building the Rath Yatra cart, and some young hippie, big, tall, young, thin hippie boy came by. He said, hey, you want to help? He said, well, all right. He said, yeah, just hold this nail right here while I hit it, So hold it just like that, and don't move it, So then Jayananda went, bam, He said, well, that was really good. You're sure you're not a carpenter? He says, no, I've never done anything. No, you're really expert. You're really good at this, Here, now, I'll hold the nail and you hit it, He said, okay. And so the boy hit the nail. Wow, you're really expert. you sure you're not a carpenter? He says, no, I never done this. He said, now you try to hit the nail and hold it yourself, you know. Because he needed all these little nails all along the side, you know, to hang the garlands, you know. He said, you just go straight down this line like that. And you know who that boy became? So that was Jayananda. Okay, so we better stop here.
Okay, so there's no more questions, stop here.
Yes. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Krishna,
Hmm?
I have one question.
Okay.